I can't wait, I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna try and open them all with you guys. So let's have a look what's going on in the next pack of Wilds of Eldraine. Ooh, it's, what's his name? Kellen the Fey-Blooded. Gorgeous, another art card. I love that they've decided to put an art card in every single one. I'm very much about that. And you kind of know that otherwise it would just be none. Beautiful mountain there. Bridges everywhere. And it looks like the second card might just be a sackland. The last one was I think it was like a swing land. Now we've got an Evolving Wilds. Ooh, and oof, a Toadstool Admirer. Ward 2. And for 3 and 1 green, put a 1/1 counter on the Toadstool Admirer. What a pretty guy. Moment of Valor, yep. And this, it's not quite as cheap as Orcish Medicine, but it does give you the choice of 2. Untap target creature, get +1/0 till end of turn and gain indestructible. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Choose 1. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield, scry 1. 1 mana, very nice. Very nice for the boosting. He'll be for the, you know, for putting auras on and for putting enchantments on. What have we got next? Fairy Fencing. Target creature gets -X till end of turn. That creature gets an additional -3 in the end of turn until you control. If you controlled a fairy as you cast this spell. Very nice. Oh, that's kind of devastating. Yay! It's a legendary fairy warrior. Obira, the Dreaming Duelist. Flash. Whenever another fairy enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. Stolen by the Fae. Very nice. Ego Drain. It looks as though that might be... Oh no, that's an uncommon, sorry. Sorcery. Target opponent reveals their bloody hand. Oh no, for 1 mana, choose an on-land card. That player discards that card. If you don't control a fairy, exile a card from your hand. Okay, so for the 1 mana, there's a bit of a tax. The Chancellor of Tales. Flying. Whenever you cast an adventure spell, you may copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Very nice. Archon of the Wild Rose. And that's a rare going on now. Flying. Other creatures you control that are enchanted by auras you control have base power and toughness 4/4 and have flying. Could be up, could be down, but it's a bit... Oh, yes! Very nice. Garruk's Uprising. When it enters the battlefield, if you control the creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample, and whenever a creature with power 4 enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. How lovely. Oh, who's in the back here? It's a misleading note. Is that what it says? Misleading motes. Target creature's owner puts it on the bottom or top of their library. How lovely. And then a token knight, because you got to have a token knight. Goodness me. And I think we're going to do one more. We're going to do one more because I'm eager, because I feel it, because I've got the vibe today. Oh, they came this morning. It's the 1st of September. It's early. I feel so privileged to have gotten them early. Let's have a look. What's at the front? I believe that's, isn't that Will Kenrith now? Yes, Will, Scion of Peace. Scion of Ice, Scion of Peace. A little bit more light wouldn't go amiss, would it? Scion of Peace. Let's turn it towards the day. What a guy, what a guy, what a guy. Nice. Then we've got ourselves just a normal basic Artland. Very nice. Good to see. Glad to have you. Very nice. What's next? Grabby Giant. Oh, it's an adventure. That's mine. Create a treasure token. Nice. Reach. Sacrifice an artifact or land. Oh, or a land. Does that say land? Oh God, draw a card. So we're out here just sacrificing lands for cards now, are we, Magic? Wow. Wow. I can't believe it. Oh, it's another oof. It's a troublemaker oof. I like this guy. He's got a wild look in his face, man. I rad him. I know I fully rad this guy. I fully rad this guy and his tweaking face. He's tweaking out. What does he do when he enters the battlefield? If it was bargained, exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. That will be your 1 ring gone for 2 mana. Rowan's Grim Search. Instant bargain. If this spell was bargained, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Then put up to 2 of them back on top of your library in any order and the rest in your graveyard. You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. I'm sorry this is taking me so long to read it. I'm actually reading it backwards in the screen. Tough cookie! It's Sir Ginger. Sir Ginger's first manifestation, isn't it? Oh no, it's not Sir Ginger, actually. It's another one of the soul-kept food golems. When he enters the battlefield, create food token. Target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature until end of turn. So he can recruit other food. He turns other food into a... Yes, he makes food come alive. I love it. I love it. I love the flavor on those guys. Knight of the Sewers. Knight of the Sweet's Revenge. When Knight of the Sweet's Revenge enters the battlefield, create a food token. It's an artifact with 2 taps, sacrifice this artifact, gain 3 life. We all know that. Foods you have. Ooh, food tap for mana. Foods tap for mana. I'm sorry, that's just disgusting. That's just, what? Oh my God. That's lovely. And like with Peregrine Took and Rosie, Eleanor Gardner, and all of those ones there. So on some level, if you can get to swing that red as well, because that's like kind of a white-green deck the last Lord of the Rings food creation has been. You know, and so if we can swing that red and be sacrificing those lands to draw a card as well, but that's just tasty business. That's just tasty business. Back 4 seconds. Got a lot of foodie ones in this pack. Interesting. It's kind of acted like a draft pack, hasn't it? Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to hand. If this spell was bargained, you may put 1 of those cards with mana value 4 or less onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your hand. There you go. Do you want to know what it reads like when you're reading it backwards? I'm gonna tell you what my mind wants to say. Hututius ot Emaclor, the Emaclor of okay. Welcome to Sweet Tooth, not of. Snurret agas hit ad ward rua refta nadna retnuk erol ad ada pets. Okay, yeah. As this saga enters after your draw step, add a lore counter sacrifice after 3. Create a 1/1 white creature token. Create a food token and then put X 1/1 where X is the number of foods you control. Very nice. Very tasty. Welcome to Sweet Tooth. Very foodie, eh? Oh, it's another one. I got another mouse. I want all of the 3 blind mice. I want all of them. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Pests of Honor. Is that to say, yeah, the more food there is, the more he can sneak, I reckon, you know? The more there is on the table, the less you can see this guy. Ooh, it's a mythic! It is Kellen the Fey-Blooded, which I think was the art card as well, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was the art card in the last one, so hopefully we got a Wheel Scion of Peace coming in the next pack. Search your library for an aura or equipment, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And he's a double striker. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 for each aura and equipment that you have. Sorry, for each aura and equipment attached to Kellen for the Fey-Blooded. Okay. You got it. You can read it. Let's have a look what's next. Ooh, a Griffinary. A Griffinary, which is, you know, not the most expensive, how do I say it? Not the most rare or sought after card, but it does the damage. Gain 3 life, end of your end step, create a Griffin. Yes, please. I'll start that engine at 2 mana. Of course, I wouldn't mind. Let's do it. And here we have, that's interesting. Oh, it's a Story Spotlight. Rowan's Grim Search. It's another one. I believe I've got 2 of those then. Is that right? 2 Rowan's Grim Search. Yes, it's a Story Spotlight. I do like the Story Spotlights. I think I'm going to hold back on any more packs. That's it for now. Stay tuned, and I'm going to do like a sorting video where I try and see what decks they've given me and what can come together. And I might even open these starter packs, because the one thing that's true about Magic the Gathering is that, like, in order to get all of the cards, you have to buy the starter packs, because they put some of the rares specifically in those packs and much less in the booster boxes. So you've kind of got to dip into both, you know? So have fun, stay magic, and whatever you do, don't stop believing.